6 essential vitamins to keep your legs strong in old age, even at 94. You know, if you had told me at 70 that I'd still be walking a mile every morning at 94, without a cane, I would have laughed, shaken my head, and probably said, "Oh honey, those days are long gone." But life has a funny way of surprising us when we decide to take charge, even in our golden years. I didn't stumble upon some magic fountain of youth, and no, I'm not selling you a miracle pill. What I am sharing is something that changed my life, and it might just change yours too. But before we dive in, if this kind of content feels meaningful to you, if you've ever looked for ways to stay strong, healthy, and independent in your 60s and beyond, I invite you to like this video, subscribe to the Thuy Share channel, and drop a comment below sharing your own experiences or tips for staying active as we age. It means more than you know, not just for me, but for others in this community who are walking this journey alongside you. Let me tell you a little story. I met Joe on a crisp morning in early spring. He was 94 years old, with a sparkle in his eye and the firmest handshake I've felt in years. We sat on a park bench, watching the sun rise as he laced up his walking shoes, not orthopedic, mind you, just regular sneakers. He turned to me and said, "Son, you're never too old to take care of your legs. They carry your whole life, literally. You stop moving, and life starts passing you by." What he said stayed with me. And when I asked him his secret, he didn't talk about treadmills or expensive therapies. He talked about food, real food, and the vitamins that had kept his legs strong, even as many of his peers struggled with weakness, falls, or had become housebound. That day, I realized something. Staying strong in old age isn't just about luck or genetics, it's about what you choose to put into your body. Now, if you're over 60, you've probably felt it, that slight wobble in the knees when standing up, the occasional muscle cramp at night, or maybe a general sense of fatigue in your legs after a short walk. It creeps in quietly, and before you know it, you start adjusting, sitting more, moving less, telling yourself it's just part of getting older. But here's the truth most folks won't tell you. Much of this can be slowed down, or even reversed, with the right nutrients. Not supplements alone, but real, nourishing vitamins that support your muscles, bones, and joints. I want to share with you 6 essential vitamins that made a real difference in my life, and in the lives of folks like Joe, who kept living fully, long past 90. And no, this isn't about popping pills. It's about simple, everyday changes that can give your legs the strength they need to carry you wherever you want to go, even if it's just across the garden or around the block. Let's start with vitamin D. I remember Ruth, a sweet neighbor in her early 80s, who used to complain about her legs aching by dinner time. She'd sigh, rub her calves, and say, "I just don't have the strength I used to." Then she'd smile and pour herself another glass of milk, believing that was enough. What Ruth didn't realize, and what many of us don't, is that calcium alone doesn't do the trick. Without vitamin D, our bodies can't absorb calcium properly. It's like pouring water into a bucket full of holes, it just slips away. Vitamin D helps your body hold on to the calcium, so your bones stay solid and your muscles strong. The first time I noticed my own legs cramping at night, I brushed it off. But when it became a pattern, I remembered Joe's advice. 15 minutes of morning sun, he'd said, can do wonders. And it did. That small habit, combined with fatty fish like salmon twice a week and a daily tablespoon of cod liver oil, brought back strength I thought I had lost for good. It's not just about preventing fractures, though that's critical too. It's about the confidence to move without fear. When your legs feel sturdy, you feel free. Let me pause here for a second. If any of this resonates with you, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. What do you do to keep your legs strong? What's worked for you? Sharing your story might just inspire someone else to take their first step, literally. And this is just the beginning. We've talked about vitamin D, but there's vitamin B12. The nerve protector that saved my friend Sarah from stumbling on her morning walks. And then there's vitamin C, which does more than just fight colds. It rebuilds joints and helps you get back up when life knocks you down. But let's weave those stories in, because strong legs aren't just about walking. They're about living fully, moving freely, and feeling like yourself again, no matter how many candles are on your birthday cake. I recall a time when my friend Margaret, at 72, began experiencing tingling sensations in her hands and feet. She brushed it off as just aging, as we often do, but it persisted, a constant, unsettling reminder of something amiss. After some convincing, she visited her doctor and discovered she had a vitamin B12 deficiency. This essential vitamin plays a crucial role in nerve function and red blood cell formation. As we age, our ability to absorb B12 decreases, making deficiencies more common. Foods rich in B12 include meat, fish, dairy, and fortified cereals. However, sometimes, as with Margaret, supplements are necessary to maintain adequate levels. After addressing her deficiency, Margaret's symptoms improved, and she felt more energetic, more like herself. It's a powerful reminder that sometimes, what we attribute to aging might be our body's way of signaling a need for specific nutrients. It's not about accepting limitations, but about understanding our bodies and giving them what they need. My neighbor, Tom, an avid gardener in his late 60s, started noticing stiffness in his knees, making it challenging to tend to his beloved plants. Those plants weren't just a hobby, they were his passion, his connection to the earth. A fellow gardener suggested increasing his vitamin C intake. Vitamin C is vital for collagen production, essential for joint health, and acts as a powerful antioxidant. Tom began incorporating more vitamin C-rich foods like bell peppers, strawberries, and kiwi into his diet. Over time, he noticed improved joint flexibility and reduced discomfort, allowing him to return to his gardening passion with renewed vigor. It wasn't just about the physical improvement, it was about reclaiming a piece of himself, a piece of his joy. This experience highlighted how dietary choices could directly impact our quality of life, not just in terms of physical health, but in terms of our ability to pursue what brings us meaning. These stories, Margaret's and Tom's, are not isolated incidents. They are echoes of experiences many of us share. They remind us that aging is not a passive process of decline, but an active journey of adaptation and resilience. And often, the tools we need are not complicated or expensive. They are found in the simple, everyday choices we make about what we put into our bodies. It's about listening to our bodies, paying attention to the subtle signals they send, and responding with care and understanding. It's about remembering that we are not defined by our age, but by our spirit, our determination, and our ability to adapt and thrive. And it's about realizing that even in our golden years, we have the power to shape our own well-being, to reclaim our strength, and to live fully and joyfully, every single day. And so, the stories continue. Each one a testament to the power of understanding our bodies and the nutrients they crave. At 75, Linda, a woman who had always been diligent about her calcium intake, was understandably puzzled when she was diagnosed with arterial calcification. Her doctor explained that while calcium is indeed vital for bone health, without vitamin K2, it might find its way into arteries, causing problems rather than preventing them. Vitamin K2 acts as a kind of traffic director, guiding calcium to the bones where it's needed and preventing it from accumulating in the wrong places. Foods like fermented cheeses and natto, a traditional Japanese dish, are rich in K2. Linda adjusted her diet accordingly, and subsequent checkups showed improved vascular health. It was a powerful lesson in the importance of nutrient synergy, the way different vitamins and minerals work together, not in isolation. It's like a well-coordinated team, where each member plays a crucial role. Then there's George, a 68-year-old retired teacher, whose morning walks were his sanctuary, his time for reflection and connection with nature. But muscle weakness began to creep in, hindering his routine, threatening to take away this cherished part of his day. His research led him to vitamin E, known for its antioxidant properties and role in muscle health. He began incorporating nuts, seeds, and spinach into his meals, simple changes that gradually boosted his vitamin E intake. And gradually, George regained his muscle strength, his walks became easier, more enjoyable. It wasn't just about physical strength, it was about reclaiming his routine, his sense of normalcy. It emphasized the role of specific nutrients in maintaining our physical abilities, in allowing us to continue doing the things we love. Susan, at 70, often found her sleep disrupted by nighttime leg cramps, a common affliction that can rob you of rest and leave you feeling drained. A friend recommended magnesium, known for its muscle relaxation and nerve function. Foods like almonds, legumes, and whole grains are magnesium-rich. Susan added these to her diet and also indulged in warm Epsom salt baths weekly. Her cramps diminished, and she slept more soundly. It wasn't just about eliminating pain. It was about reclaiming the restorative power of sleep, about waking up feeling refreshed and ready for the day. It showcased how simple dietary changes and self-care practices can enhance overall well-being. And finally, there's Robert, at 66, who noticed joint pain after his daily walks. A discomfort that threatened to limit his mobility and his enjoyment of the outdoors. His doctor suggested increasing omega-3 fatty acids, known for their anti-inflammatory properties. He began incorporating fatty fish like salmon and flax seeds into his diet, simple additions that made a significant difference. His joint pain lessened, allowing him to continue his walks, to continue exploring and enjoying the world around him. This experience underscored the impact of healthy fats on joint health, on maintaining our ability to move freely and without pain. These stories, each one unique, each one a personal journey, weave together to form a larger narrative about aging, about resilience, about the power we have to shape our own well-being. They remind us that aging is not a passive process of decline, but an active, dynamic process of adaptation and growth. It's about listening to our bodies, understanding their needs, and responding with care and compassion. It's about reclaiming our strength, our vitality, our joy. And it's about remembering that we are not alone in this journey. We are a community. A network of individuals supporting and inspiring each other, sharing our experiences and our wisdom, and walking this path together. If these insights resonate with you, consider liking this content and subscribing to the Thuy Share channel for more health and wellness tips. We'd also love to hear your experiences or questions in the comments below. Sharing our stories enriches our community and empowers us all to lead healthier lives.